So to start, I decided to do learning outcome number 2, which is organize information to show understanding and help solve problems. The problem I'm working on showing this is the phone number, which is on page 110 in chapter 4. So to start, by organizing, I jumped ahead just to keep the video moving and wrote down all of the numbers that we would be looking at eliminating. And the problem solving technique after reading the problem that I felt would work best would be eliminating the possibilities. So to start, I just went through on what the criteria was, and all the digits are even. So you would go through to organize the information, start by just eliminating all the numbers that have an odd number in them. Okay, so once I did that, then you move on to the next portion, which is all the digits are different. So then you go back over, and if you find any with the same digits, you can cross those out. Okay. In the next portion, the digit in the tens place is less than the other digits. Alright, and once that's complete, then you can go to the sum of the two larger digits is 10 more than the sum of the two smaller digits. So the sum of the two larger digits, and at this point, to organize and just make it easier on myself, I start circling what numbers are left just to make it easier to see. Okay, so the sum of the two larger digits, 14, so this one, 6 and 8 is 14, plus the two smaller, 4, that is plus 10, so that's okay. The two larger here, 8 and 6, 14, is not 10 more, so that's gone now, over here. And this one, again, 14, that's 6, so that's greater than 10 more. Two larger, that's 14, that one is plus 10, so that's okay. This one here, we got 12 over 2 plus 0, so that one is plus 10 greater. Here, that's again 14 plus the two bigger, that's 6, so that's gone. Here we have 10 and 2, so that's not. And at this one, that would be again 10 and 2, which leaves us with only 3 options left. And this is where Ed tries to get a little bit more information from Candy and says that she would tell us the sum of all of the digits. So that's your next clue, is to start adding up the sums of the digits. So if we have the three remaining ones are 4, 6, 0, 8, 8, 6, 0, 4, and 2, 8, 0, 4. Right there. So when you add up the sums, this one equals 18. This one equals, again, 18. And this one equals 14. Which leaves, because these two are the same sums, it must be 14. Because that was how he could figure it out. Therefore, the solution, she gave the first 4 of hers in the beginning of the problem as 492, and her last 4 digits are 2804. So I completed this by eliminating the possibilities, and I organized by following all of the directions in order, which then helped me to come to the solution, which is 4922804. The next learning outcome that I decided to show understanding of was number 4, which is communicate solutions to problems. I did this on problem B's, which is 138, chapter 4. So I had already figured out the solution to this was 231 ancestors. But I'm going to explain how I got that. So we start with the male B, and you have to have a good understanding of what the problem is telling you and what you're trying to figure out. So a male bee is born from an unfertilized egg, a female bee from a fertilized one. So in other words, the male bee only has a mother, whereas a female has a mother and a father. How many total ancestors does a male bee have after going back 10 generations? So I did draw the diagram to help myself understand this, but the big one for me was to look for a pattern, so I didn't have to add up all of the possible ancestors that there could be. Okay, so picking up where we left off, we always try to look at this point because we're in the chapter of look for a pattern, so I knew that there would be a pattern eventually. But I started off with figuring out each of the sum of each generation to figure out if there was a connection between the next generations going down. So if you were to add 1 and 2, you get the next generation. If when you add 2 and 3, you get that sum of those two, you get the next generation. So when going down and so forth, 3 and 5, you get 8, 5 plus 8, then you get the next one, which is 13. And I knew that that was correct. If I wanted to, I could go down one more generation to show that this would have 21 ancestors, but I trust the pattern. So once you get down by adding up, 8, 13 equals 21. 13 and 21 equals 34. 21 and 34 equal 55. 34, 55 equal 89. And then you have to add up all of the sums all the way through generation 10. You do not include the first, which is him, the first bee itself, because they're asking for how many 10 generations back, not including him. So that's where you get the 231 ancestors.